922 respond and stage for now, possibly up to 3 people shot.
Tonight, we are learning more about the hours leading up to that 911 call and the final moments of 3 people's lives in Mahomet. Good evening. I'm Brandon Morano.
And I'm Jennifer Roscoe. Last month, we told you about a triple murder on Riverside Court. Janis Mason and her 2 children, Caleb and Sara, were shot and killed. The community has had so many questions the last few weeks, and our news team is digging deeper into police reports to find answers in a Target 3 investigation. Joining us now is WCIA3's Amanda Brennan. Amanda, what did you uncover?
Well, this stack of papers here, this is 40 pages of police reports from 2 different jurisdictions, Mahomet and Berwyn. That Chicago suburb is where officers shot and killed the suspect, John Lyons. We obtained these documents through a Freedom of Information Act. They confirmed a lot of what we knew already, but also revealed so many new details. Now we know the relationship between the suspect and one of the victims, as well as who else was in the house when the crime happened. December 18th, 2024 is a day the Mahomet community will never forget.
Completely confused by what happened.
61-year-old Janis Mason, her 26-year-old daughter Sara, and 23-year-old son Caleb were shot and killed. But now we know more details about what led up to their deaths at their Mahomet home. WCIA3 filed a Freedom of Information Act for police reports to learn more. Then I laid out a timeline. Officers interviewed friends, family, and witnesses. Sara's friend was in the basement when all of this happened and says around 6:30 p.m. on the 18th, a man came to the front door. He said his name was Jack and he was looking for Caleb. Police reports show they were roommates at the U of I, and officers later interviewed an RA at Newman Hall. The report says Sara's friend told the man that Caleb wasn't home, but would be back sometime between 9 and 11. Flash forward about an hour, and license plate readers in Champaign picked up the suspect's car driving near campus. Officers also talked to other friends of Sara. They were with her part of the night. One says around 7:30, a notification made Sara realize someone was outside her door. An hour later, those friends dropped Sara off at home, and there was a man with a helmet on outside. They heard her tell him, quote, "He isn't home, he's at work." The suspect didn't give up, and police reports show he went up to the door again around 9 p.m. That time, Janis talked to him, repeating that her son wasn't there. It was at that point Janis told Sara's friend at the house that the family didn't like him and that he was lying about his name. She said, "It's not Jack, it's actually John, and there's an active lawsuit he had against Caleb." Police reports also reveal a tweet Sara made at 8:54. She said in part, quote, "Trying not to be scared suburban white woman about the dude waiting outside of my house for a while now." It went on to say, "He left, but will probably be back anyway."
I just heard like pop, 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 and I was thinking, gosh, that kind of sounds like gunshots.
That's when Sara's friend came up from the basement and discovered what happened. Janis was shot in the driveway, Caleb in his car, and Sara in the doorway between the garage and home. The witness called 911, and so did Caleb in his final moments. Police got there in just a few minutes and tried to save the family members. Sara was pronounced dead at the scene, the others at the hospital. While an investigation started in Mahomet, the beginning of another crime was unfolding 2.5 hours north in Berwyn. At 11:38 p.m., police got a call of a man with a gun. Reports WCIA3 obtained from Berwyn's department detail the moments a man broke into a home, shot and killed 2 dogs, and then tried targeting far-right influencer Nick Fuentes. Police found the suspect's backpack with ammunition, a crossbow pistol, liquid accelerants, and IDs inside. They later found him. They say he shot at them and hit a squad car. It was at that point officers fired back. Documents revealed the suspect was killed after being shot in the head. The Cook County medical examiner later identified him as John Lyons, the man Caleb Mason's mother earlier said was his college roommate. So what could have led up to this? Berwyn police interviewed John Lyons' parents the next day. They told officers their son was beaten up by a college roommate in 2022. After that, there was a civil suit, and they say their son was becoming distant, recently moving back in with them and quitting his job as well. They knew he was driving back from central Illinois and had a feeling something wasn't right, but he told them that he'd be back home soon. That would be the last time they would hear from their son. His parents told police they were unaware their son had any access to guns. They did know that he recently bought a small pistol-style crossbow. They also say they are unaware of any connection their son had in Berwyn.
Amanda, there are so many layers here. Where does this investigation stand right now?
Well, I had a phone call with Mahomet's police chief earlier today, and he said they're still combing through a lot of the evidence. Investigators looking at cell phone and computer footage, things along those lines. And he says those will start tying up some of those loose ends.
Like the lawsuit and the Nick Fuentes connection.
Exactly. So then after that, I asked him about a timeline, how long this could potentially take. And he says that it can vary from case to case, of course. But with this one, there's multiple jurisdictions involved. You've got that officer-involved shooting on top of all of this. So those are just added layers to the investigation. Now, one other thing I want to note as well is our digital team has been working so hard on uncovering so many other details of this investigation. So you can find all of those on WCIA.com.
All right, Amanda, thank you so much.